Alright class, today we're going to do the hanging drop technique. This is to check for a couple things. One is to check for the shape of the bacteria, and whether it's a rod or cocci, etc., or to check whether it can swim. Mostly we're looking for motility. Okay, and so this is a technique that uses a slide that has a concave surface. Right here is a little depression in the slide, and then we're going to use the cover slip, and we actually put our sample on the cover slip, and then we'll put our sample on this, and then we take the slide and set it on upside down with the depression over the drop. Okay, and then we can flip it over. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is to get a little Vaseline on the edge of the slide. Actually, the edge of the cover slip. And we have a few broken ones. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of the Vaseline and we just smear a thin layer on the palm of our hand, and then we just take this and we flick it, or just draw it down, and then we get a little bit of a Vaseline on the edge, rotate it 90 degrees, keep rotating at 90. Just get a little bit on each edge. Some techniques have you using a toothpick, but this is a lot cleaner. Okay, and then, so there we have it. Okay, and so I put the Vaseline up and I'll lay it down. So I can lay it down here. Okay, and then it's always helpful to get the Vaseline off your hand. Alright, so now we'll take a loop and we'll get a little drop of water from a water bottle, squirt bottle. And we don't need a very big one. A big one is actually counterproductive. And we'll set it in here, set it on there. Actually taking several drops. Here we got a better one. Okay. And then you can see the size of the drop here. Okay, and that's about as big as we want. You can get a little bit larger, and that's usually counterproductive though. So I gotta flame my loop to get into the sterile bacteria with the pure culture, and I'm going to choose bacteria strain number 7. And I don't want too much, I just want a speck. You can see it on the end of the loop a little bit, and then I just rub it, just smear it into that drop a little bit. And the drop's not going to change size because the surface tension sticks it together. Okay, and that's done. Then I got to flame my loop again. Okay, and then I'm ready to put the concave slide over the top. Okay, so we're going to take our concave slide, so the concave is up here, little cave. I'm going to slip it over And then I'm going to push it downward like this. Just set it on it. And then I can flip it over. Okay. And there it is. Alright, and so then it's just a matter of looking on the microscope, which we'll do next. Okay, we're back. This is a wet mount, hanging drop mount, and you're seeing your bacteria. What we have is the Micrococcus luteus, so it's cocci, and we can see that, and they're kind of hooked together in groups of pairs and some fours, some single ones. And they look like they're moving, but you have to determine if they are actually going somewhere. And so if they don't go somewhere, if they just jiggle, that's called Brownian movement. And Brownian movement is just the water molecules hitting the bacteria, and that causes them to bump around. But if they are not swimming to a given direction, then it's not motility and not swimming. And so I don't see any modal items here. And you can also see that it's some of these are in different dimensions or different depths. Okay, so you have to kind of play with your fine focus to determine what you're gonna see. And then some things you can do is play with the iris diaphragm and then the condenser to get some different contrast. So this is the condenser, I'm raising it up. This is the iris diaphragm. In this case, the iris diaphragm is washing it out. If I lower the condenser with the iris diaphragm open a little bit, that's what I see. Now I close the diaphragm to a very tiny dot, and I raise the condenser up. And so I can get it to come out pretty well, depending on what I want to see. The contrast. Okay, so that's what you do. You would just move it around, just check to see if there's any different versions. There you're seeing a packet of 4, or you saw a packet of 4. Let me see if I can find it again. Yeah, right there, off to the left of the center. All right, that's it for the hanging drop.